what is the mindset which is required, right?
Anything you do, anything and everything you do, you need to be very clear that you want to make a difference. And if you have that one objective of making a difference every single day in whatever you do, you will automatically ensure that you do it very well so that a better outcome comes out of it.
What are the biggest challenges in the healthcare medical industry in India?
We in the laboratory space, there's a lot of management principles that have to be applied into the laboratory space. Unfortunately, in our curriculum, we were not taught these management principles. That's one thing. Secondly, the time in which the curriculum was formulated, it was all about the manual methods. But technology has come into the laboratory, state-of-art equipment have come in. Managing the equipment is not taught to these students even today. So our curriculum is really outdated.
Hey everyone, welcome to Real Knowledge Club Longevity Summit. Today we have one of the most incredible guests with us who is in the world of laboratory. Today we'll be diving into the world of laboratory systems, operation efficiency, how we can have like exponential growth. Here with us, we have a transformative, one of the most incredible leaders with us, who is none other than Dr. Shailaja Alapaty, founder and director of Capable Healthcare Training Center, lab directors of what's your Institute of Medical Science and professor and head of biochemistry. She also leads procurement of Vaidai institution, ensuring world-class efficiency and cost optimization. Today, you will be able to learn the mindset, skill set, tool set from her 27 years of experience and knowledge and wisdom, how you can grow your laboratory to a next level, quality management, Six Sigma, medical education training, procurement, how to go about. She has authored over like 15 plus books, conducted various webinars, and implemented the Six Sigma framework to like lot of institutes to streamline the lab processes. And she is widely known as one of the most incredible thought leaders in India. And today you will be able to learn some of the most phenomenal things. Make sure that like you grab your notebook, notepad, and take notes. And without any further delay, let's all welcome Dr. Shailaja to the Real Knowledge Club Summit.
Thank you, Akshay. That was really a very, it's a nice summary of exactly what I've been doing for the last 25 years, trying to put in systems, ensuring patient safety at being the paramount goal and objective.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking your super valuable time. I'm so excited to know about your journey and how you went about, right? I would like to know your backstory, right? Like how did you got started into like the medical field and what actually inspired you to choose like the lab domain after like your MBBS?
I started off into medicine because at one point of time, my father, his grandmother wanted him to be a doctor, and unfortunately, he couldn't become.
Mhm.
So, over a period of time, it grew on to me that I should become a doctor. And then, when I joined MBBS, I sailed through MBBS in flying colors. But then a time came in when the first CET, that is now called NEET, started with our batch.
Okay.
Unfortunately, all the good students during that batch, we couldn't crack the CET and we just couldn't qualify for a clinical seat. We were very disappointed. All the toppers were very disappointed. But we thought, okay, next year let us crack it. But we just didn't know how to go about doing the MCQ test.
Hmm.
Then finally, I decided, let me take whatever I get and do the best in it. Fine, and then my husband joined Davangere Medical College, so I said, okay, I'll join him too in whichever seat I get. And biochemistry was the seat which was available over there. Um, Having taken that, I realized I want to ace this field, and one day I should make such a huge difference that I won't miss out being a clinician. So that started my journey into biochemistry. And well, here I am making a difference.
Wow, wow, that's amazing. Right. Which year was it? Like the first year the NEET started?
Yeah, I finished at 84, 90, 90, 84, 88, 90. I actually don't remember. It's so many years back.
Okay, that's amazing. And next question is like, what is the mindset which is required, right, to rise from a student to professor to like a lab director, an academy founder? Like you're doing so many things, being a doctor, lab director. What is the mindset required to succeed in this AI era?
Um, anything you do, anything and everything you do, you need to be very clear that you want to make a difference.
Hmm.
And if you have that one objective of making a difference every single day in whatever you do, you will automatically ensure that you do it very well so that a better outcome comes out of it. In this process, you learn the art of multitasking, you learn the art of managing people, you'll also learn the art of how to develop processes and ensure a wonderful outcome.
Hmm.
So that has been my mantra.
Absolutely, that was phenomenal. And what is the biggest problems like you have seen in the labs currently right now? What are the biggest challenges in the healthcare medical industry in India?
Okay, when it comes to laboratory, everybody, if you're starting a business, you
Mm.
go ahead and the heads of businesses always learn business management.
Mm.
We in the laboratory space, there's a lot of management principles that have to be applied into the laboratory space. Unfortunately, in our curriculum, we were not taught these management principles. That's one thing. Secondly, the time in which the curriculum was formulated, it was all about the manual methods.
Mm.
But technology has come into the laboratory, state of art equipment have come in.
Yep.
Managing the equipment is not taught to these students even today. So our curriculum is really outdated. Secondly, there are standards that have to be maintained in a laboratory, be it the ISO 15189 standards or be it the CLSI guidelines. Unfortunately, these standards are also not taught at the undergraduate level or the postgraduate level. Be it NABH standards, NABL standards, it's not part of the curriculum. So these standards are all meant, guidelines are meant for patient care.
Mm.
So in days when it was solo practice, a doctor was doing solo practice, he was so motivated in doing the best. But in today's day and time, when it's all about hospitals and multiple people involved, we need to have patient care protocols. And that is something that has to be incorporated into a curriculum. And people should understand what these guidelines are, because guidelines tell you this has to be done. But how it has to be done is what the CLSI guidelines tells us. But unfortunately, in India, the cost is very, very high, and many people don't get hand to the CLSI guidelines. They only have the ISO 15189, which tells you what has to be done.
Mm.
So now the need is, not only do we know, we have to know what has to be done, how it has to be done, in which way the processes have to be put, and as a result of which the patient result will be absolutely the value in his body, which reflects onto the report.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, the goal should be the value in the patient's body should be on the patient's report. The rest of these systems, we need to ensure they're absolutely perfect.
Yes, yes, true. And because even I'm very enthusiastic about longevity, and one of the main thing is like understanding, doing our blood test is one of the most important things, right? Nowadays, many people in India are not doing all these tests, and most people it's like cancer, right? Like many people will tell until the stage 3 or stage 4, most people never even go for checkup. Why it is important? For everyone to do like checkup every 3 months or 6 months, go to like lab, try to understand what's happening inside the body.
I'll give you a small analogy. If you're cooking a dish, initially only you know that there's something wrong, you will try to rectify it.
Yep. Hmm.
But after you finish cooking everything and suddenly you realize that the masala has become too much, the salt has become too much, there's no way that you can rectify it.
Yeah.
So and so in our body, if you catch it young, immediately we can tackle it when it is very, very at a nascent stage. The treatment will be for a shorter duration, the dose will be of a lesser, which does not give side effects, as a result of which continuity of treatment and longevity will be more. But if you go to the end stage when nothing much can be done, it's a lost game.
Hmm. Right, right, absolutely. And Dr. Shailajan, right now there are like so many labs in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi, all over the country, right? How do I know this lab has like highest accuracy, efficiency, and they can predict everything properly? Because nowadays, many people for the lab test, they come to the house, they take the blood sample, stool sample, all the things, right? By the time they come from the house to the lab and then testing out what if there is an error or like what if it gets misplaced, how whom to trust the most, and like which are the best labs, where which one has to follow.
Yeah. First and foremost, the if you want to get your blood test done, you have to look whether it is enable accredited or not.
Hmm.
Now, whether that lab is enable accredited, because they going in for accreditation shows that they are quality conscious, they have the systems, and when enable comes and sees their systems and realizes yes they have proper systems in place, then they give them their the accreditation status. So first and foremost, everybody should ask whether it is enable accredited.
Hmm.
The tests that you're doing, are they accredited? Because you might have 100 tests in a lab,
Hmm.
only 5 or 10 might be accredited.
Hmm.
They might not be the test that you are getting tested. So find out the test that you are getting done, are they accredited or not? Secondly, I would personally endorse going, you're getting your test done once in a while. Take the time out to go to a hospital. Give your sample over there at the right time. If you're supposed to be fasting for 12 hours, be it that it's 12 hours. Go give it in a hospital where the machines are right there. So the time taken from the time the sample is taken from your body and then transported to the lab, analyzed, is very, very short, because sample integrity is very, very important. Like you cook a dish in the morning, if you eat it immediately, it's still
Hmm.
nutritious.
Fresh, it's nice.
But
Yeah.
if you eat it in the evening, there's quite a bit of deterioration happening. So the
Hmm.
same way the sample also deteriorates. Secondly, if it is summer, the dish will get spoiled also.
Very faster.
So temperature is very, very important. Just like how we any dish in very cold temperatures, it stays for a long time. Samples also have to be transported in the right temperature,
Hmm.
and at the right time it should reach the lab. So many of the errors happen in this first phase, and as a result of which, if you've got a substandard sample, then the values are all going to be substandard. So my take is, have your sample, give it so that you're sure that in another half an hour to 1 hour, this sample is being processed. So if
Absolutely.
you take care of these two things, one is that the lab is accredited and the test that you are doing is accredited. Second, the sampling time, you adhere to the sampling time and give your sample at a place where within half an hour to 1 hour the sample is processed, then very, very likely that your report matches these value which is in your body. And basis on that, your treatment is going to start.
Hmm.
And if that value is wrong, then your treatment is also wrong, because the doctor will go by the face value of what is the value on the report. He
Correct.
assumes that that value on the report is what is in the body, and he treats it accordingly. So these are the two most important things. One is sample integrity and one is quality of the testing processes.
Absolutely. That was phenomenal, right? Like the right timing, they have to do it, and that's the key. And my next question is like there are like total how many labs in India and how many of these labs actually follow this ISO guidelines and the government line guidelines all the
The number of labs in India, there are numerous number of labs. Some are legal labs, some are not legal labs, some are just mushrooming centers. There is no structure. Anybody will just with a shed, they're starting off, no qualifications, nothing. They call themselves a laboratory, and poor people believe because they are very good in personal PR skills and they give their sample. So nobody knows how many labs are there. Second, the number of accredited labs. At this point of time, there are about 2,000 and odd accredited labs for the whole of India, which is a very, very small number. So the
Hmm.
government of India now has made it a priority to ensure that more and more labs get into this ambit of the quality culture and ensure that there is more accountability and more systematic processes, which I should say they're really doing a wonderful job in creating awareness and also encouraging the labs to go in towards the quality way.
Absolutely. It's rightly told, right? There only like 1% or 2% actually follow the all these things, right? Now imagine if I am going to set up a new lab at a Whitefield, right? Like I'm a new doctor who just now graduated with my MBBS and then MD. I want to set up a small nursing home and set up this lab with limited resources. How can one actually meet these standards? Like how this top 1% labs have?
um, everybody gets confused that quality is expensive and you need to have really high end
Expensive equipment.
equipment, everything. No, in whatever you do, even if it's a small setup, you still can maintain quality. It's not about the equipment. Yes, equipment does cater to the faster turnaround time, and how much of accuracy and precision and all can be there. But that could be done with a small benchtop automated analyzer also. It is the systems and the processes. Who has to do what they have to do, when they have to do, why they have to do the way it should be done. If each one knows that, like if you go into the airport, there are so many people in the airport doing so many tasks. But
Yes,
you are very sure that the moment you enter the airport, you're very sure that the security guard over there is going to do his job. The
right.
boarding pass person is going to do his job. The flight attendant is going to do his or her job. So like that, if every person knows what they have to do, when they have to do, how they have to do, then it's very easy.
Hmm.
So that is something that the ISO standards say that you have to have a system, and the CLSI guidelines tell you how you have to go about it. So if they learn that art of processes and systems, then be it a small lab, be it a big lab, be it a multi-chain lab, everything, the quality of reports coming out remains the same.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like systemization is the key, right?
Yes,
Everything like with luck or fluke, thinking about what to do. If you don't know how to do it, if you don't have a system, it's going to fail, right?
yes.
Systems work, people fail. There is a great quote, I believe, right? Awesome. And you also specialize and like you have helped your own lab and like you have helped so many people. What is this 3C approach which you actually help with, and can you walk us through the through that framework?
Yeah. See, first and foremost, for anybody to understand what the systems are, they first have to be competent in what they have to do. To
Hmm.
be competent, they have to learn the system. And once they are competent, they should go in for compliance. So once they're competent, they go in for compliance of the ISO standard. And once they go in for compliance with the ISO standard, they get the certification.
Hmm.
And once they have their certification, they tell the whole world that look, doing something right is one way, but you need to prove to the world that you're doing it right. So
Yes.
that is how this three C's came. And if you are competent, if you are compliant with the standards, you get your certification, which you can show to the world that yes, we are a quality driven laboratory.
Hmm. Absolutely love that. And when it comes down to collecting the sample, the QC directly improving patient outcome, how does the training of the sample, if we are doing like in a huge quantity, right? If 5 or 10, 15, it is easily manageable. If hundreds and 500,000 people are coming, how do we have that same level of efficiency, productivity, and on a scale, how we can impact more people?
Yeah, I'll again go back to the airport model. If it is an airport with very few flights coming in, they still have their systems. And even if it's a larger airport, again, the systems are there. And if you take Heathrow Airport, again, systems. So it all boils down to the systems and the scalability. If you have a system in place, it's just about, adding on modules and modules and modules and scaling up to every level, because it's the same system that you adopt, be it 100 samples, 200 samples, 500 samples. It's only about increasing the space, increasing the number of resources, the people, and the equipment. But the systems will be the same.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's right. And from your years of experience, can you share us like a case study, like how you took a lab from here, from a point A to point B? What was the three problems they were facing, and how did you help them out?
Yeah, that is really, you nailed it. Like, I started off my journey at Jayadeva Hospital, and then from there, I'm a spiritual person. And then when Sri Satya Sai Institute of Medical Sciences started in Whitefield,
Mm.
I joined that hospital, and people from around the world came to see the systems that we put, because 25 years back, we set up the first paperless hospital and the first paperless lab. I introduced vacuitainers that time, 25 years back, bar coding, and did the validation and verification of all the reagents which are there in the market. Imported controls. That time, NABL was still not in India. Imported three levels of control, and used without running the control, I would not do any tests. So, controls is something that tells you that your entire system is absolutely fine. So, having set up that sort of systems, and people around the globe, we don't have that in our country also. 7 years down the line, my neighboring medical college, Vaidehi Medical College, um, they came and said, we are having a lot of issues setting up laboratory, and clinicians are not happy with the results. As a result of which, they are saying that we are not able to treat patients effectively. So that is when I got into. Everybody told me, don't get into a medical college space. You can't get systems put over there. People are not willing to adapt and willing to change, and what you've seen, the you were able to achieve at success, you can't achieve over there. But then I realized there is a calling, and when I reached there, yes, all these challenges were there. What we could achieve at Satyasai Hospital in 1 or 2 years took me 4 to 5 years to develop. But then the approach that I took, I realized many people found it very, very difficult for them to understand what the standards were. So slowly I started decoding each line of it, explaining to them in very simple terms, so that they really understood what it means and how to put systems into place. And here I have to tell, I have hats off to my management, who actually gave me the full support and encouragement to just go ahead and do what is best for patient care. Without the management supports, it would not have been even possible for me to think about achieving what we've achieved today.
Hmm.
And post that, we've come to a stage where Sten Westgard of Westgard Rules came to India, and he was brought to our lab. And when he saw our processes, he went back and he said, "Your Six Sigma level of thing." And I was like shocked. He's seen so many labs around the world, and he said, very few have this sort of a setup, and you've really aced it. That was a big confidence, that, or a validation, I should say. And post that, Dr. Shanti Naidu, madam from Care Hospital, she said, "Shailaja, I know whenever there's something complicated, I call you, you make it very simple. But remember, the day you die, your hard disk will crash. And all that knowledge which you had in your brain is not going to be of any use to anybody. I want you to start sharing how you broke down this complex understanding of the ISO standards, implement the systems and processes to be Six Sigma level, teach the younger generation how it is. That was a big shock to me because it's not something that you can teach in 1 hour, 2 hour. It
Correct.
takes a long time to understand everything. And then I came across a platform where they said you just have to record it once and you can upload it, and people across the world can hear you. And that is how I got in. And for the last 5 years, I've recorded more than, say, 450 to 500 videos in this same very studio, and about 1,500 documents, conducted a lot of webinars. And now, when people listen to them, and they say, "Ma'am, it is just awesome." And that feedback, we've attended so many trainings on ISO, but we're not able to come back and implement in our lab.
Hmm.
Listening to your modules, listening to your videos, we really can implement. It's not something that you find in books. They are practical, practical oriented tips that you are giving. And that was really very satisfying. After seeing our lab come to that level and then taking it up to create a learning platform where everybody can learn the same thing what I taught my staff. um, yes, today I can say I feel I've done justice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic, right? Like you have been there, done that, and like you have helped the hospitals grow to like next level, and now you understand. Then people trying to invent on their own, doing the trial and error, following your simple framework can help them scale, have an exponential growth, right? Love that. And
Yes.
Dr. Shailaja, I'm also curious to know, like right now, AI, it's like disrupting so many industries from the medical, doctors, laboratories, and like robots coming in, right? What is your thoughts on it? Will AI take over the jobs of the lab technicians, director, like the lab, this thing, like how should one actually go ahead in this AI era?
AI is a boon, I would say, um, to all of us, but no, it cannot replace humans. A time will come when robots might do a little tasks and replace humans, but AI per se will not be able to do that. Second thing is, AI driven robotic systems will help in this. But ultimately, when it comes to anything that you need to do physically,
Hmm.
and it involves a lot of steps, and it involves empathy, it involves care, it involves um, a decision that has to be taken at some point of time. All these are something that we need to do then and there, because it's very critical that we act then and there. Yes, maybe the AI models of the future, which are much more higher level, have that capacity to think in different dimensions, and they can add a lot of value. But nothing can replace a competent person doing that job.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's like AI will go together, right? It'll act as a friend. It'll actually add to the weightage to the what people are like doing, like doctors and like lab technicians. It'll not replace them.
Absolutely. But one thing with AI is all about what you feed. Till
Hmm.
now, the first round of ChatGPT took whatever information was on the web,
Yeah,
but slowly it's learning from people's adding information to it. But that information, we don't know whether it is the right information or the wrong information. You feed it wrong, the output is going to be wrong. So that is where accuracy of the data and the learning module of AI is very, very important.
true.
If you train it in the wrong way, then the result is not going to be the one that should be coming out. So the
Hmm.
data that is going in should be absolutely clean,
Hmm.
neat, and without any gaps.
Hmm. True. And my next question is like if every lab in India has this like robust systems tomorrow, how could it impact like the patient safely? Like what are the two or three things which every lab can implement right now from today on?
I would say every lab should first have the mindset that we can set a quality laboratory, we
Hmm.
can have quality results delivered.
Hmm.
First mindset is that we can do it.
Yes.
Accreditation is achievable. The second mindset. One is the intention to give quality results. Second is that accreditation is possible. Third is willing to learn. They're willing to learn, that is, de-learn everything what they learned before.
Hmm.
Start fresh, learn fresh, and get your right mentor to teach you the right way in going. Then that is going to simplify every single thing. And then you'll sit and, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, I give them this example that we all are educated girls and we've never been into the kitchen, and we get married, we have to get into the kitchen and cook, and we are like looking into internet, we are seeing here, we are trying to make a dish, and ultimately the dish doesn't come out the way it's like your mom or the grandmom does. But if in that house a mother-in-law or a great grandmother is there and she says, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way, and she shows you just exactly the steps that has to be done, when she handholds you, mentors you, don't you think cooking becomes a beautiful experience, because the end result is a fantastic dish which everybody appreciates.
Yes.
So how much ever information is out there, you still need a mentor who has walked the path, not
Hmm.
somebody who has just read about it, who has dived in, who has worked, who has met all the challenges, and has fine tuned that recipe.
Yeah.
So you don't waste time in reinventing the wheel. You don't waste precious resources. Like a spoiled dish, all the ingredients are lost. You test the sample and you don't get it right. Again, you test. So many reagents, everything is going waste. Testing, retesting, running the control again, running the calibrators again. It's all comes to cost. But if you have a perfect system, you make the dish perfectly the first time. All you have to do is maintain the machine, run your controls. You have no outliers, no need of extra calibration, no need of running extra controls. And cost effectiveness is so much.
Hmm. True.
You bring down the wastage drastically, that your profits increase by 30%, literally. And plus the turnaround time, the time in which you're preparing one dish and it gets spoiled, and again prepare it, gets spoiled, it's a long duration. Like, you test the sample once, you're able to give the report to the patient very, very fast. The doctor is able to act on the patient very fast, and the treatment, when becomes fast, the patient gets better faster.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That's right. I love that. And Dr. Shailaja, and this is a very curious question which I have. As a thought leader in the healthcare lab industry, if you become the health minister of India tomorrow, how would you reform the current healthcare system, the labs and diagnosing all over the India, right?
Um, okay, hypothetically,
Yeah.
if I were to, the first thing is teach, teach, teach. Make it simple and make people understand what the standards are. Be it NABH standards, be it NABL standards, ISO standards. Make them understand what are quality systems in simple language. And then you create the processes. And once you create the processes, you place people in the line of process, and teach one person only how much he needs to know.
Hmm.
Don't teach everything. So he masters what he has to do, how he has to do it fantastically. And if he doesn't do it well, then what are the repercussions? You always need to teach people that if you don't do it, how it's going to affect the patient. And nobody I know would want to harm a patient. It's only because he doesn't know that what he's doing is going to harm. So if you enforce that if you do this, it's going to harm, then they won't do it, and they'll take extra precaution to do it right. So if we create an atmosphere of first ensuring that people understand the standards, and then make it mandatory that they have to follow it, make them accountable for it, and make it easy for them,
Hmm.
then it's easily it can be done. And the way India is going, and with concentration of skill and competency in healthcare, it is doable. It is doable with the right culture, the right mindset, and anything that is not mandatory, anything which is not a solid proof policy and driven with a passion, then it fizzles out. So the momentum is right here, and it is a beautiful phase to be in, with technology coming in, equipment coming in. It's now only teaching people how to use it and implement it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love that. And what is the most underrated skill every lab director must have?
The skills first is management skills.
Mm.
Then they need to know people management, resource management, cost management, and root cause analysis, corrective action, preventive action. So these five skills should be there in any laboratory professional, and especially so in the lab director, because they need to ensure that we deliver quality results in the least cost, in the least amount of time to the patients.
Absolutely, absolutely. Love that. And Dr. Shailaja, what is your vision and like your mission, right, for the next 5 years, 10 years? And who are the kind of people like you can help, right? So that whoever is watching this podcast, like it was like a mini masterclass, they can actually reach out to you as well. Mm.
My vision and mission is, for however long I am alive, I want to ensure that I teach as many laboratory professionals in each and every lab this proven robust laboratory system, that you take it and you just go and place it. Like how in as KFC, if you go anywhere in the world in KFC,
Franchise.
the same
Mhm.
taste. It
The
won't
quality is
differ.
equal at every place.
Same, everybody will know what to do, how we do. So finally the dish is the same. So when you take this system, don't modify it. It's working for the last 10 years. It's been robustly running. Just take the systems which I put for sample collection, for stock management, for equipment care, for QC management. Put everything just like that. Just follow the system. And whenever you have a doubt, I handhold you, I teach you, I train you. In a matter of a couple of years, I don't think that there will be any lab which is not accredited. That much of confidence that I have. So anybody who wants to ensure that they deliver quality results, reduce their costs without compromising on quality, get certified. I am there to help you all out.
Absolutely.
That is a one line message that I wish to give everybody. The system is proven, the processes are robust. You just have to take it and drive that into your lab, and drive the learning process among your staff. And what I've done is I've created modules for every staff member.
Mm.
So, be it a junior technician, how much he has to know, there's a module. Senior technician, how much he has to know. Then, lab manager, what he needs to know. Quality manager, what he needs to know. Even the DMLT BSc student also. So, they are aware before they come to the lab. Pathologist, microbiologist, biochemist, lab director. So, for everybody, I have modules which they just have to listen to that and understand what it is. Then, lab managers, store managers, QC managers, equipment managers. For each and every person, there is a module for them to go, listen, understand what it is, and then implement this robust system, laboratory operation system.
Absolutely love that. I can see so much fire and burning desire you have to help like the labs. I see like you have fallen in love in that subject of labs
Yeah,
and
so I call it the
anyone in India. Mm,
capable laboratory operation systems,
mm.
where we empower people to become capable of delivering quality results. And that's why my academy is called Capable Healthcare Hub, under the aegis of Capable Healthcare Training Academy.
That's wonderful, amazing. And what is the book like you'll recommend every lab professionals must read, right? And do you also have your books also which you'll recommend everyone to read?
Yeah, I'm in the process of making one, which is the culture charter.
Hmm.
So the culture charter about when you have to start this journey and you are at the helm of the affairs and you want to put your laboratory in the right path. What are the ingredients? What is your mindset? What is the attitude? What is it that you need to do? I've penned down everything as a small booklet, that the magic pill that works,
Yep.
be it how you cater to your staff, how do you ensure that your colleagues are happy, how do you ensure your staff are happy, how do you ensure consistent quality results. There's a method, there's a methodology, there's a philosophy, and that system is what I want to share my experiences about what worked for me, because I don't have people leaving my the job working for me. They're
Hmm.
so happy, they're so satisfied, and some of them for a higher scale have gone out, but they came back and said, no ma'am, we would rather be here, working, doing quality work, and having our self respect. And for everybody, self respect is very, very important. Nobody likes to be shouted at and screamed at. If you don't have systems in place and you're continuously firefighting, everybody's blaming everybody, everybody's shouting at each other. But if you have a proper systems in place, it's calm, quiet, each one doing their work, not blaming anybody. It's a very positive environment. So that is what I envisage for everybody.
Absolutely love that. That was phenomenal. And Dr. Shailaja, for everyone who is watching this at this Real Knowledge Club, how can people reach out to you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, right? If they want to connect with you, have any questions, the lab directors, right, like the medical professionals.
Yeah, I'm on all these social media. I've just started off. I should say I'm still in the learning phase and I'm not very good at social media. I had no clue about what it is. Even I didn't have a profile, LinkedIn profile. But yes, at some point of time, being good is one thing, doing good is one thing. But when you want to teach the world, you need to let the world know what you know,
Hmm.
because there are many people out there with good PR skills, talking and mesmerizing people, but ground level effectiveness is very less. So I've walked the path. I have this proven credibility. People coming and having a look at what I've done, endorsing it as Six Sigma, and more important is I don't want to keep it to myself.
Hmm.
I want to share. I want to share in such a way that everything that I know, I want you all to learn and implement.
Absolutely.
So I'm there on LinkedIn, and anybody can always contact me through connectchc at yahoo.com. I made it very simple. So they have to send me a mail, connect chc, that is capable health care, at yahoo.com. So it's
That's
just connect chc at yahoo.com.
That's amazing. And for all the people who are watching, who have connected with your vision and mission, and if they want to be part of your team, right? What are the qualities like you see in that person?
First and foremost, there's a particular code of honor
Mm,
that our team members have, that nobody can talk negative about anybody.
mm,
Nobody can point fingers or find fault with anybody. No blame game, and they should be harnessed with high integrity and ethics, and have a passion to really help patients. So for me, that is very, very important.
mm,
When you have the knowledge, the right knowledge for the right mission and vision, then it becomes a powerful tool to help patients. So that culture they should have. It's not about money. Money will come. It's not about money. It is a question of your mission driven with a passion to wanting to help and make a difference to every mother, father, brother, sister who have admitted in the hospital, so that they can go home and be with their family again as hale, healthy individuals at
Yep,
the least amount of time that they should spend in a hospital.
absolutely right. We just have to serve, like money is just going to be like a byproduct of whatever we are doing.
It will come. People, there are tons of opportunities where people want to set systems. And if you master this, you can go ahead and implement it in many places and people will pay you for that. But the intention should be very pure.
Yep, absolutely. That was phenomenal. Dr. Shailaja, before like we conclude, what is your final piece of advice to everyone who is watching this podcast?
Please come and learn. Please implement. Please help patients, because tomorrow you might be in one of those places where your blood value is not right and your treatment goes wrong, will have devastating effects on your family. So everybody's mother, brother, sister, brother matters to that family. Now we have systems, we have technology, we have money. There are people to put in a lot of money. All you need to do is learn the right way of doing things, go ahead, implement them, and deliver quality results to patients.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible wisdom, Dr. Shailaja, the mindset, the skill set, the tool set in order to grow and take the lab, having an exponential growth to like next level. And everyone who is watching this, do book your call, ask your questions, reach out, implement whatever things you have learned. It was like a mini master class for all the lab directors, lab technicians, doctors, if you want to grow it to like next level, because growth, the more effective process systems we have, the more impact we can do, the more money we can make and everything,
The
right?
most satisfaction that you will get, because one, I want to end with this one sentence. I asked my staff, don't you all feel bad that nobody knows what a tremendous work you are doing? So she said, ma'am, when I go to sleep, I know I have made a huge difference. So to all those patients, for all those values, in one patient report there will be 12 tests, for
Yeah,
or 12 or 100 or whatever tests, every test being correct. I know I've done a good job, and I pat myself for the job. I said, thank you, God, for making me do this wonderful job today. So that is something where the satisfaction that one derives by
absolutely,
knowing that, you know, you go out there, you give your sample, you don't ask anybody to do anything differently. You're just another patient. You've given your sample. You've not gone to the machines. You've not seen whether everything is okay. Rely on that value and get treatment. That is the ultimate test.
absolutely, absolutely love that. And everyone who is watching this, do let us know what are your top.
Yeah, and the second thing, the
Yeah.
day the doctor says he's left this hospital and gone to another hospital, oh God, Shailaja, I miss your values, your reports, because with your reports, whether it is low, high, anything, we just had to go ahead and treat because we knew they were on dot. That ambiguity was not there for us, whether it is a lab error, whether it is right or wrong. And we saw how patients improved so beautifully. Once we really trusted your values and we treated the patient, and that made a huge difference to us and to the patients. So when doctors say that to you, you know you've done your job,
Yep, absolutely.
because that end result is achieved. The objective which you started off has been achieved.
Yes, yes, yes. That was super amazing. And everyone who is watching this, do let us know what are your three biggest takeaways. What did you learn from this podcast, like a mini masterclass? And do share it with as many people you can, like the lab directors or any lab you think they can improve and is not just looking for a linear growth, but exponential growth in this AI era, right? With that being said, thank you so much, Dr. Sailaja, for sharing your incredible wisdom. and everyone for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys.
Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much.